Christy here. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I have my top 5 products from my top 5 drugstore brands. So I don't know if this is an original idea or not. This idea came to me as I was watching Shanrell, and she was doing 20 products from 20 brands, and I was like, I don't even think I have 20 different drugstore brands to talk about. So this kind of popped in my head and I decided to do it. So if you've known someone who's done it, leave them in the comments down below. I can't promise you that I saw them because I really only follow very few people outside the painting community. So yeah, but I want to give credit or share somebody else's video if I can. This is actually the second time I'm filming this. The first time I filmed it, if it were a drinking game, I'd be dead of alcohol poisoning. I would have died on the floor. The number of times I said it's just so beautiful or just so beautiful, like that combination of words, I literally would be dead. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to try not to say everything is beautiful. I'm going to do my best and we'll see how that goes. Now, not all of these brands are just makeup. I've included skincare if I feel like it, tools if I feel like it. So, and the brands are in no particular order, but I will have each of the products numbered from 5 being like the least favorite all the way down to 1 to like my number 1 would repurchase it over and over and over again. So let's start with e.l.f. e.l.f. is, sorry for my chair. e.l.f. is the brand that initially popped in my head when this idea very first came to me. I was like, okay, yeah, let's try that. I was like, I have at least 5 drugstore brands that I really enjoy a product from. So let's start with e.l.f. and we're going to start with this. So this is their original complexion sponge. And I don't know what it is about the texture of this sponge, but it applies your makeup so smooth. And you can see it's dirty. I normally use the flat for foundation. I'll do like this side for contour bronzer, this side for blush, and then sometimes I'll use the tip, of course, for concealer. There's something about the texture of this once you wet it and it's gotten big. It's just completely unlike any other sponge I've ever tried. And they last forever. Like this has probably been washed, I don't know, 30 times and it's still holding on. I think they're $3. Don't quote me on that. It's been a long time since I've bought one, but they're fairly inexpensive in comparison to other brushes. I mean, sponges like the Real Technique sponge, the Beauty Blender, etc. So something about the texture is just so good. We're going with it. Anyway, yeah, I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Number 4, their brushes. So I have been using e.l.f. brushes probably since I got into makeup back in like 2014. Was that when I really got into makeup? I would say, yeah, 2014. And I've basically had the same brush set since 2014. And I am hard on brushes. So these 3 are kind of my favorite face brushes, or 4 I should say. And then I use their eye brushes as well. I like the stippling brush for my cream products, the angled powder for my powder products. This one, when I feel like I have a concealer that I need to set, will go under my eye. And this is my latest find. I hauled this earlier in the year, last year, this year? I honestly don't remember. But it is their airbrush, flawless airbrush something, airbrush blender. I love this for foundation, as you can tell. It doesn't leave brush strokes. I mean, all brushes are almost always going to leave some kind of like something that you're going to have to go over with the sponge or something, but it doesn't, like, I don't know how to explain it other than I like the shape of it. I like my makeup when I use it. So yeah. And again, they're inexpensive and these have lasted me, what, 8 years? And I probably paid like $10 for the whole set because I only buy stuff on sale. Number 3 is this. So I purchased e.l.f. skincare when they very first started years and years ago. And a couple of the things were okay. Like I had the face moisturizer, that was all right. It was like a daily moisturizer or whatever. But I really didn't give them any other thought until they released this Holy Hydration line. And for me, this is the best thing that came out of that. This is the face cream. This is the one that's fragrance free. For me, I don't feel a difference between the fragrance free one or the one with fragrance. The fragrance isn't that potent that I notice a difference. And I also don't notice a difference in how my skin reacts to either of those. But again, your mileage may vary depending on just how sensitive your skin is. This cream is a lovely cream. It is a cream, so it's a little bit thicker, but I feel like if you're oily or normal, this would be something that you could use at night that wouldn't be too heavy, but also heavy enough to provide some, but also moisturizing enough to give you the moisture that you need overnight. As a dry person, this is more of a day cream for me, but I feel like this is better than the It Confidence in a Cream. And I've used probably 3 or 4 of those. And if you put them, like if I had $1 million and you put both of those in front of me, I would always go for this one because I just feel like it does a better job. It's what, a quarter of the price. So I honestly think you can't go wrong with this. Does this one come in a mini? I know some of their skincare they've brought out in minis. So if you get a chance to try it, I highly recommend it. Again, they have fragrance free. They have the one with fragrance. I haven't tried the one with the CBD oil or CBD in it because I have other moisturizers that I love other than the one from e.l.f. But yeah. Number 3. Number 2, I'm not digging out to find. This is the only makeup item that I'm sharing with you from e.l.f. I have been working on one of the putty bronzers and I have the putty blushes that I haven't started using yet. If you watched my face declutter, or not my face declutter, my like collection declutter and purge, I got rid of like the bite-size face palettes, the bite-size eyeshadow palettes. I didn't really care for formula in either of those. I do have their cream blush palette. I have a cream bronzer palette that are both pretty okay, but I didn't feel like I had enough time to play with the putty blushes and bronzers to say, yeah, this is in my top 5. But I have had enough time to use their Flawless foundation. And again, I panned this earlier in the year, and if you've seen my empties bin, it's even more full. As a little foundation bottle. So I know this is one that I think people are kind of split on as well. I thought it was beautiful on the skin. It really did look flawless. It wasn't cakey. It didn't make my face look dry. It didn't cling to dry patches. It didn't settle in my one little pore I have right here. So I think it's a lovely foundation. I think they've expanded this shade range. Don't quote me on that. I also think that Ulta is discontinuing some of the shades because they had some of them for $4. I think the foundation is either $6 or $8. I honestly can't remember. It is one that I would repurchase. I don't need a foundation right now. I still have like 44 of them. So, I mean, if I would stop buying foundation, I would probably be in the 30s. But can Misty stop buying foundation? Nah. Am I going to rebuy this one? Not right now. So anyway, I feel like it's worth a chance. You're not going to be out a ton of money and you can figure out how it works for your skin. Last but not least, this is the best product I've ever tried from e.l.f. in all of the years I've been purchasing from them. This is their Jelly Pop Watermelon Jelly Cleanser. I believe they have this jelly cleanser in other scents. I haven't tried any of the other ones. There is something so magical about this formula. I can't tell you the ingredients. Again, not a skincare junkie. When I find something I like, I find something I like. I got a 3-pack. I think it came with this, the primer, which I hated, with the Passion of 10,000 Men, and something else. But this is the one that stuck out to me. This is a jelly-like texture. It reminds me of like a hair gel. It's just not sticky. And it doesn't foam, which is so different because we're used to cleansers like foaming up, etc. And this doesn't. And I think that's why I love it so much, because I am painting the Clinique. I am working on one from First Aid Beauty. Both of them say they're meant for sensitive skin. both of them burn my eyes and they dry my skin out, and I have no issue when I use this. I don't need a lot of it. Again, it doesn't foam, but I don't feel like it needs to because it removes all traces of my cleansing balm and whatever makeup the cleansing balm didn't get or I missed because I have a fat face. So yeah, if you don't try anything else from e.l.f.'s skincare line, I encourage you to try this. Again, they have other scents, and I think they have one that's fragrance free. I can't speak to those, but I can speak to this one. If you like the smell of watermelon and you don't care about fragrance in your skincare, especially something you're washing off, I say give it a go. And it just rolled into a project, so that's why it has a mark. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have the Colourpop. Let me pull it all out here. Okay. So, at number 5, this is a blush stick, again from Colourpop. This is in the shade More is More. I've been working on this in Color Pan. I love this formula so much. I know Haley didn't care for it. I don't know if I've seen anybody else pan it, but it's a beautiful formula. It's very soft and it blends out. What's the word? Not just soft, but like smooth. It goes on smoothly. You can blend it out. You can shear it out if you want to. You can leave it a bit bolder if you're someone like me who likes to over blush. It's just a really beautiful formula. This one is in the shade More is More. I don't know that they make this anymore, but to me, this reminds me either of NARS Orgasm or Tarte Frosé. It has that kind of peachy pink to gold shift, and again, you saw how it blended out. I just think it blends out beautifully, and it's definitely in my top 5 from Colourpop. I am going to need something to wash my hands. I'm gonna need something for all these swatches. Now from Colourpop, it is all makeup. I have tried a few things from Fourth Ray, and I didn't really care for any of them. I felt like the oils went off real quick. And the face milk, I didn't feel like it did much of anything. I think I tried one of their eye creams or face creams. I mean, they were all okay. It's not something that I feel like I'm gonna run out and replace. As far as Soul Body, I think the only thing I have is their bronzer, and I haven't even used that yet. It is definitely something that's on my list for Color Pan. I might not get to it till next year, but it's definitely something I'm gonna work on. So this is really all makeup. Speaking of makeup, next is this. This is their their Super Shock blushes. Oh my gosh. These are so good. Like, these are so good. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Maddening that these blushes and their highlighters stay beautifully creamy, whereas the Super Shock eyeshadows completely dry out, and these just stay beautiful and luxurious. It's a beautiful formula. Again, you can blend it out. This is the Color 360. This was from that Skating Let's Row. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is one that has some shimmer in it. I also have Birthday Suit Chiffon, which also has some glow to it. But both the matte and the ones that are glowy, I love the formula on them. And if I didn't already own a bazillion blushes, this is the 5th time I've hit pan. Just keep moving it around. If I didn't already own like 50 cream blushes, I would definitely probably own every color that I like of these. So definitely number 4. In that same vein, number 3 is this. I am so excited to try their cream bronzer. Misty, I'm not purchasing from Colourpop unless they do something innovative, and I haven't been interested in any of the eyeshadow palettes. I haven't been interested in anything else but those stupid Super Shock cheek bronzers. So I am dying to try one of those. I'm gonna wait, but I'm dying to try one. So this is Seismic. This is the one I've been working on in Color Pan. And these are just, again, it's like a putty kind of creamy formula, but they stay creamy way longer than the Super Shock shadows do. And again, you have some that have glitter, you have some that are a bit more sheer, you have some that have a bit more color. This is Seismic. Seismic was part of the That's Taupe collection, so it has a bit more of a kind of taupey, cool tone undertone. I mix it with I wear Seismic every time I put makeup on my face. every time I put makeup on my face. And it just blends beautifully with anything else I want to pair it with. So definitely one that I would recommend. Maybe not this color, but I also pan Flexitarian, which I also love and would love to repurchase once I get some other things out of my collection. Number 2, the quads. I feel like they're discontinuing some of them, which is a shame because the quads are probably their best formula. This is Strawberry Sweet. Yeah. This, oh, the shimmers in this, the mattes in this, they're both just, oh, the quality is just so much better than what you get sometimes in their 9 pans or what you get in their bigger palettes. The quads are where it's at. I don't know why they don't put that formula in everything, but especially the ones from the Zodiac, really, really nice. So if you find a color story that you're interested in, again, I think they're discontinuing some of them, so you could probably find some on clearance, and they're about due for a sale. So if you wait a couple of weeks, I'm sure they'll have a back to school sale or something, but I definitely think the quads are worth it. And I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 quads. So yeah. Last but not least though, my number 1 product from Colourpop is their Pretty Fresh foundation. This has moved into the number 1 spot for me with my foundation collection. There is just something about this formula that's hydrating, that provides coverage. It doesn't crease. It doesn't dry down weird. It, like I said, it covers. The color match is really, really spot on for me. They have a ton of colors. The formula is just one of the best foundation formulas I've ever tried. And I've basically tried, I don't know, 100 different foundations at this point. Did I say eyeshadows? I meant foundations. So when I had to go get my driver's license picture renewed, this is what I picked to wear because it's just beautiful on the skin. I don't have to worry about looking dry or like it's settling into my weird lines. I don't have to worry about any of that. It just goes on so beautifully. And as of right now, if I had to repurchase I lost all of my foundations. That's what I'm trying to say. There are 2 that I would pick again. This one from Colourpop and probably the Dream Urban cover from Maybelline. Both of them are just beautiful. So this, I highly recommend if you are someone who is dry, maybe normal to dry. I'm currently painting their foundation stick that originally came out. This is so drying. Like if you're someone who's oily, you may enjoy the no filter line. For me, the Pretty Fresh is where it's at. Now I hated the tinted moisturizer. They might as well just call it, you know, colored. Well, I mean, they basically do. It's a tinted moisturizer. It provides no coverage. And I am someone, if I'm putting on makeup, I want you to know that I'm putting on makeup. Like I'm not putting on makeup for a no makeup look. I'm putting on makeup to do full beat. So anyway, but I feel like if you're someone who doesn't want a whole lot of coverage, that you can get that out of this one as well. So I have the color, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'll try to flash it up on the screen. Fair 40N, I think is what it is. It's a neutral color. So anyway, that's my 5 from Colourpop. So let me put this away and we'll go through the next brand. So LA Girl is a brand that I don't own a ton from, but what I do own, I really, really enjoy. So 5th place, only because it's newer. This is their new lip oil. I have mine in watermelon. Now it has a lipstick color on the tube or on the doe foot, but these are so good. It's very hydrating. It sits well on my lips. Like it doesn't dry them out. That's one thing that I've noticed with some lip oils or glosses. It's like they just suck all the moisture out of your lips. And this one doesn't do that. Now this is the only one I've tried. This is watermelon. I think they have a watermelon, a vanilla, strawberry, maybe pineapple and grapefruit. I don't know. This is the watermelon. It smells like watermelon. It smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. But it's just so hydrating. Hydrating, it sits, like I said, it sits lovely on the lips. It doesn't dry my lips out. I only have to reapply it maybe once a day, depending on if I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, I want some watermelon. Let me put put on my watermelon lip oil. So that one is definitely one that I would encourage you to check out. Again, they're new. I think they run about $5.99, which to me is not bad. I've been working on this for a couple of months now. I use it several times a day. The only thing is I can't tell how much is left because of the packaging. And this is lasered on maybe because it's not a sticker. So maybe I just need to take some acetone to it and wipe it down. But yeah, I really, really, really have enjoyed this lip oil. It's definitely one I would repurchase. I would repurchase that over the Colourpop ones for sure. Number 4 is, well, these. This is one of their palettes. This is the Hot Hot Heat. This is, if you've been with me, you probably remember this from my project level up. So I've used each shade twice and I've hit pan in a couple of shades. This formula is beautiful. Now this is not the only one that I've tried from them. I also had the green one, green and purple and blue, the main stage one. The formula is good. Like, it's not just good for the price, but it's good. Is it BH good? No. Is it Colourpop good? Some of them. Yeah, absolutely. Some of them I would put up there with Colourpop, especially like the 9 pans. But these shimmers are just another level. And that's what I loved most about the main stage one as well. I do have the, artistry palette that I haven't panned yet. But I enjoy this formula rather than the small ones that they had or had. Now, I haven't tried all of them. I've just tried a couple of them. But to me, these bigger palettes are the much better formula. Just don't buy it from Ulta or it'll come broken. Ask me how I know. Okay. Number 3, their eyeliners. Their Shockwave eyeliners are, whoa. I'm panning this one. This is, I don't know, neon green. Something. And I've used a ton of this. It's smooth, it's vibrant, it stays in the waterline, it doesn't like go everywhere, it's creamy, it's sharpenable, and they're not that expensive. And I have this one, I have a purple one, I have a blue one, and I have a black one, and I have a brown one. And I have loved every color that I've used. And they're not a chore to use. I think they look beautiful. And I love these about 9,000 times more than the cream gel liners from Colourpop. So if you're trying to decide which ones you want, I would go for the LA Girl one all the time. So that is number 3. Number 2, this is their corrector. So I enjoy their corrector, which I actually have on under everything today, but I also enjoy their regular concealer, and I want to say it's all the same formula. It is a creamy formula. It doesn't feel drying. Now these may be a little dried out. I've had them for probably 5 years. Maybe 4 or 5 years. But the only thing I don't like is the brush applicator. It kind of pisses me off, but what are you going to do? I mean, I guess I could cut it up, but don't want to. So that's the light peach corrector. They have several colors of it. But it does a really good job of covering what I needed to cover. I have a lot of deep, dark purple and blue on my inner corner. And partly because I'm old AF. Partly because the skin there is very, very thin. But also because my eyes are very deep set. So they sit back and I have basically a cave. So it always looks pretty dark right there. And that one this one has always worked really well for me. Again, I like the concealer too. I think the two of them together are really, really good. So that would be my number 2 for LA Girl. And my number 1 shocked the holy hell out of me the first time I used it. This is their Pro Coverage. This is the hydrating or the illuminating foundation. This is good. Like, it's like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? Oh, this one may be empty. As you can see, it's a bit dark. So I put it in another container. So maybe I won't get any of it out. But anyway, I can't speak for any of the other formulas, but the illuminating one works like a high-end foundation. It works. It's the very first time I wore this, I was like, what am I putting on my face? Why has no one ever told me about LA Girl's foundation? It's good. The shade range, not good, clearly. But they do sell I want to say a white, a yellow, a blue, and then a dark one. This is also in the illuminating, and I've mixed the two into another bottle because you guys know I like to freaking my foundations. But both of the formulas are just, they're stunning. They're stunning. And I think they have a matte one if you're someone who has oily skin and you're like, Misty, I already look dewy. I don't need any help in that department. Then yeah, check out the matte one. But if you're someone who's dry and you don't want to spend a whole lot of foundation, but you still want it to look flawless and you want your skin to look plump and hydrating, give this a try. Again, shade range. I haven't bought it in forever. It may be better. I don't know. But yeah, definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. And in fact, I actually started using that, and then I was like, Misty, you're painting. Remember to roll that in a project, but you're painting other ones right now. Why did I put that lip oil on top of this lipstick? I knew it was going to do that. It's not even the lip oil that's doing it. It's that Stila lipstick that I hate and don't know why I'm still painting it. Who knows? Okay, let's move on to Makeup Revolution. Now, this is another one that if you saw my declutter, I had a lot of Makeup Revolution in it. If you want decent eyeshadows from Makeup Revolution, stick with their Forever Flawless line. I've also heard good things about like their collaboration palettes. I had the Tammy Twilight palette. That one wasn't bad. I've seen a lot of people painting the Soph one. I really feel that for me, where Revolution shines is their complexion products. Has there been? Of course, I haven't bought anything really new in a while, but I don't know that there's ever been a complexion product that I've purchased from them that I've just been like, no, this ain't it. So let me share with you my top 5. So let's start with, let's start with the last one. I'm bringing this. So last year in my Paint That palette, I was working on their Blush Melts palette, and I absolutely love that palette. It's 8 cream blushes. It was less than $8. It took me a year to hit pay in full. The formula is just really, really nice. It goes on easily, blends out beautifully. I don't know that they still make that. That's the one thing that I hate about Makeup Revolution is you love something and then it's gone. Like the Conceal and Hydrate, their Conceal and Hydrate foundation they're retiring. The eye gel that I love so much that I'll talk about in a little bit is like they're getting rid of that. It's like every time I like something, they get rid of it, and I hate that about them. But they still have their powder blush palettes. So this one is Sugar and Spice. I believe this is the lighter of the two. Don't quote me. The formula in this is lovely. They're very velvety smooth. They are very pigmented, but again, you can also blend them out. You saw which ones had been getting the most use from me. You've got a couple of neutral shades. You've got a pop of pink, but again, this is something that you can really blend out, sheer out if you want to. Go in easy. It's definitely easy to work with. I have put this in a project. That's why you see a green dot. So you will be seeing more of this palette. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I think I put a usage goal on. But yeah, it's just so pretty. It's really just so pretty. Totally worth it. I really enjoy it. I probably won't get any use out of these pinks on my face because they're a bit dark, but maybe as an eyeshadow or something, as if I need to. Next is their Bronzer Reloaded. The whole Reloaded line, the blushes, the bronzers, and the highlighters are so good. I sent a couple of blushes to Dani for Christmas because I wanted her to try it because I just love that blush formula. It's really, really nice. So this is the bronzer in Bronzer Reloaded. Long Weekend is the color. It's actually what's on my face today. This one is baked, and so it's a bit luminous, which I like. I want to look glowy and hoey. That's my goal in life, is to look glowy and hoey. Actually, I have really dry skin. I'm almost in my mid 40s, so my skin's not quite as luminous as it used to be. And I also, yeah, I just like a glowy look on myself. I know not everybody does, but I actually really love it. So this is actually in Get Baked. have a few more uses on it, but I really enjoy it. I think this one's definitely worth it. For number, what am I at? Three. Where's my brain? The highlighter Reloaded. This is in Dare to Divulge. It's such a creamy, I don't know if this is baked as well. This formula is creamy. It's beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. I mean, I've loved every highlighter I've ever tried from Makeup Revolution. There hasn't been one that I'm like, nope, don't like it. Now, I will say that I haven't tried a lot of their like intellectual property things because I'm not the least bit interested in any of them. And I've heard those can be hit or miss. But anything in their regular lines from the Makeup Revolution or Revolution Pro lines are pretty damn good. XX Revolution is just them trying to make extra money, and I'm not about that life. But Makeup Revolution or Revolution Pro are the two that I really enjoy. I've tried a couple of things from Makeup Obsessions. I haven't really loved those, but again, the few things I've tried from Makeup Revolution, well, it's been more than few. Oh, I Heart Revolution's also good. Why are they gonna have 92 brands? I'm not doing a top 5 for every brand from Makeup Revolution. We'd be here for 2 days. But again, I do like the Reloaded, the blushes, the bronzers, and the highlight. Number 2, their foundation products. This is the one from XX Revolution that I really enjoy. I loved the Conceal and Hydrate, but again, they're getting rid of that one. I have the Concealing Glow. I haven't used that enough to form an opinion, but I really do like the Conceal and Hydrate, and I like this one too. This is currently in Child of the 80s, I think. I just appreciate their foundations. I think they wear well for me. Again, it's going to depend on your skin type, etc. But I really enjoy their complexion products. I could wax poetic for hours about their complexion products. You have to be a little bit picky, but again, Revolution is also something that's always on sale, either on Ultra or on their own site. The Conceal and Hydrate is still available on the European site. their UK site. What's also on there is my number 1, and that's their Cooling Eye Boost. This is an eye cream. I don't know what it is about this magical solution that works so well on my under eye, but anytime I use that in conjunction with another eye cream, and it doesn't matter which one it is, my under eyes feel smooth as velvet. Smooth as velvet. And the UK site still has it, the US site does not, and I was like, I'm gonna buy all of them because they're on sale for like £4, which is about $5 US. Don't quote me. Don't quote me on that, okay? But I was like, no, it was because I was like, I'm gonna buy 10. You can't buy more than 10, but I was gonna buy 10. It was gonna be like $50. So I was like, Missy, no. No, it'll be all right. But it's really, really nice. And I've tried a couple other things from Makeup Revolution as far as their skincare, and some of the things I've enjoyed. I didn't care for their eye patches. I felt they were drying a little bit weird, but I had a hyaluronic acid serum from them that was fine. I had their vitamin C, but I've discovered that my skin's like, no vitamin C. Thank you very much. Every time I use something with even a hint of vitamin C, my skin loses its brain. So I'm gonna miss that one. I'm gonna miss it. So good. So good. It's the Cooling Boost. It's the green one. I don't know. It's just so good. I'm gonna miss it. Okay. Last but not least is Shop Miss A. And I could not hold myself to just 5 products from Shop Miss A. I apologize. It was basically impossible. So we are going to talk about what I love the most from Shop Miss A. And then we're going to do a couple of comparisons because I want to. So one thing I love from Shop Miss A are their tools. I love their sponges. So this is the original Paw Paw one. This is the one, like if you follow Teresa is Dead, this is the one she says is a dupe for the Beauty Blender. I can't speak to that because I've never used a Beauty Blender other than the one that's supposed to be like, not ergodynamic. My brain. Sometimes I question my own self. Biodegradable, that's the word I was looking for. Ergonomic. Oh my word. Is that even a word? Who even knows? Anyway, and that one was awful. So I can't speak to that, but a lot of people love these, and I want to say these are either $1 or $1.55. One thing I've talked about before that I love about Miss A, Shop Miss A, is they donate to charity. They have 3 different charities they support, and that's why you see 3 different colors sometimes on their lines. It's vegan and cruelty free, ships for $35, and it comes in a huge bubble mailer. I've never had anything arrive broken from Shop Miss A. Like, I wish I'd taken a picture of my last order. It's like a really thick, not bubble mailer, bubble wrap. It's like a bubble wrap envelope. It's huge. It's pillowed. It's so nice. Anyway, so yeah, so I love the sponges. I love, this one is my favorite. It's the one with the velour. I have 2 sets of their brushes. Their concealer brush is one of my absolute favorites. I just really love their tools. I do stick to the AOA brand. I think that's their home brand, and I really, really love it. The only thing about Shop Miss A that I hate is how flippin' slow the shipping is. They literally ship from Dallas. I'm literally in DFW. It takes 5 to 7 days for me to get my order because they use DHL. And I'm like, how does it take 7 days to get from Capel to where the hub is to where I live? That's ridiculous. So if there's one thing to complain about, it's that. But anyway, their tools are really, really great. Next is their lashes. I'm wearing their lashes today. These are the A+ ones. So the A+ goes to schools. The Paw Paw ones go to animals, charities. My favorite are these. These are the Paw Paw 3D Faux Mink. Those are just way too big. Like, these are a little big, even for me. But this line, oh, I love so, Jean, I think Jean are my favorite. These are Rachel. I love any that start small and kind of flare out. Rachel, Jean, Yanni, Linda, Melissa, all of them. You cannot go wrong with their 3D lashes in the pink. The green ones, meh, are alright. But the ones in the pink box, I really, really love. The band is just thick enough so you can put your glue on it and set it on your eye. It's not overly thick. They don't feel super heavy. The ones in the pink are absolutely my favorite. Let's talk about a makeup product. This foundation. This is their A+ foundation. If you saw my Get Ready With Me in Shop Miss A, I used this along with a different color. This is such a pretty satin finish. It's good if you have dry skin. It's good if you have normal skin. I'm sure it would work well if you have oily skin. Again, the issue with this is the shade range. The shade range on Shop Miss A is very, very limited. And I can understand why, but I really wish that they would expand this. And maybe, again, maybe they have since I've looked. But I have the shades Fair Ivory and Porcelain. Fair Ivory is just a little deep. Porcelain's a little light. Mixed together, they're perfection. And yes, they are going in a project. More info to come later, like September. I don't know what we're on. The Paw Paw concealer. I have gone on and on about this concealer for years. So I want to say this is a dupe for the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I would show you a swatch, but I believe this one's gone off. I've had it forever. And if you guys remember, I tried to paint it last year in Throwback 30 and I just couldn't make a whole lot of progress. But it's like really thick on the inside, so I think it's just been open too long. This has probably been open 4 or 5 years if I had to guess. Every time I've recommended this concealer to someone, they've said, I loved it. I loved it. It provides a lot of coverage. It doesn't crease. It doesn't settle into fine lines. You can put too much on, but if you back it down and just put just a little bit, just enough, it'll cover and it'll be beautiful. Even if you have dry, scaly under eyes like me, It's just magical. And I hate that this one's gone off. But again, I'm not in the market for a concealer because I have a ton that I'm trying to get through. But if I were to repurchase, or if I lost all my concealers, this would be probably a number 1 or number 2 repurchase for sure. Next, these. I would like to take a minute to thank Kim and Deb for turning me on to this. Oh, and Nona to turning me on to this product, Missy. God dang. This is the Shop Missy Green Tea and Vitamin E Cleansing Balm. So I did a video side by side using this against Pharmacy Green Clean, and I honestly think this side did better. This is $8. I want to say it's $8.88, whereas the Pharmacy one for the exact same amount is like $32 or $34. Now, I'm not shitting on Pharmacy. I have 3 of them. three Green Cleans that are going in projects that I'm currently going to be working on. I'm not shitting on them. But this is the best one that I have found from the drugstore. Tried the Physicians Formula one. I tried the one from Good Molecules, which was basically just like coconut oil. Like the e.l.f. one is meh, but this one, there's just something so, it's hydrating. It doesn't have a really strong sense of smell, a really strong fragrance. It takes off everything. Lash glue, waterproof mascara. I mean, it just works so well. So you'll have to go check out that video, and if I can remember, which I never do, I'll try to link it. But you can see a side-by-side comparison of just how much this takes off. And again, it's $8.88. I believe it's $8.88. And then you can buy a small one. It comes with a little scoopy. It's just so good, and it's the same size as the Pharmacy Green Clean, and just so much less expensive. Next, we're almost done. They're Lumi blushes. So if you saw, I posted a reel and a short comparing these right here to the Nabla Skin Glazing. So while I'm talking to you, I'm going to swatch the 3 of these, and I'm not going to tell you which is which, and I'm going to want you to guess which one is which. So these, I believe, are supposed to be a dupe for Laura Geller. I want to say in my video, I said they're a dupe for the Hourglass. That was incorrect. Thank you, Anne Sophie, for correcting me. They are supposed to be a dupe for the Laura Geller. One thing about baked products is they almost all kind of perform the same, if you ask me. And I've used lots of now these are better than Hourglass, let me tell you that. Hourglass, Benefit, who else is that? Milani. Like, I've used so many of them. These are $1. So I want you to guess which one is Nabla. So we have 1, 2, and 3. I want you to pause the video, and I want you to put in the comments which one you think is the Nabla Skin Glazing. Just from these swatches, which one do you think is the Nabla Skin Glazing? Could you tell? Could you tell? This one is the Nabla. This is in Lola? Truth. I also have the one in Lola. Whatever Lola wants. Is that Lola? I mean, they're all basically the same. Like, can you see a difference? And then this is Dulce Vita from Milani. Can you tell a difference? No, you can't. These are $1, you guys. $1 flippin', and they are worth $24. This is $24 full price, and these are $1. And they have a ton of colors, and they're absolutely beautiful. They wear well. They are, again, they're baked, so they have a bit of luminosity to them, as you saw. I think there are a couple of colors that aren't so vibrant. They're a little bit richer if you have a deeper skin tone. I mean, come on now. And they also have highlighters that are also just as pretty. Their Lumi stuff is top notch. But yeah, I mean, when I posted that, I was like, holy crap, this is not only a dupe for the Milani, but they're also dupes for the Nabla. So if you've had your eye on the Nabla and you're like, Misty, I can't pay $24 for a blush, it's $1. It's $1. And while you're buying that, I need you to buy my #1 product. This. This is the Hush Cream Blush from AOA. This formula, again, rivals any high-end formula I have tried. It is creamy without being sticky. You can shear it out. It shears out beautifully. It goes on with the sponge. It'll go on with the brush. It'll go on with your fingertips. They are $1. And if you are someone, I've said this before, if you're someone who wants to dip your toes into cream products, but you don't want to do a big investment, you cannot go wrong with these blushes from Shop Miss A. You just can't. And they have a ton of colors. And again, they are $1. It's the Hush blushes. And their dewy highlighters, these are like multi-chrome, duochrome or multi-chrome. You don't get a lot, but again, it's $1. So this is the one, I mean, you can see the shift. Hopefully you can see the shift. I mean, every time someone like posts them on Instagram, I'm like, yes, yes, more people need to know about these cream blushes from Shop Miss A because they are miraculous. They will change your life. They will change your life. Okay, maybe your makeup routine, but they will change your life too. They are so, like, if you don't buy nothing else from Shop Miss A, you need to get these 3. They're Lumi blushes, they're Hush blushes, and they're dewy highlighters. I mean, nothing else. $3 and a beautiful face of makeup. If you're interested, I did do a full face of Shop Miss A, my favorites. I did a full face, including an eye look, for $25. So make sure you check that out. Again, everything, I don't know about internationally, but domestically, if you spend $35, it ships for free. Yeah. Don't quote me. I think it's free. Sometimes they do $1 shipping if you don't want to buy 35 different items. They have other brands. The Amuse blush palettes, these are actually really good. I'm working one of these in, I think it's I Heart the 90s. This formula is just velvety. I don't know how else to describe it. It's beautiful. It blends out beautifully. Like I have, do I have one today? No, I'm wearing that Lola blush from Nabla, but it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Santi, they're velvet mousse eyeshadows. So good. And this I did a one shadow look with this cream eyeshadow that I blended out in my crease and then went over it. Was it a one shadow look? Maybe it wasn't. Don't let me lie to you. But anyway, it's so good and it's so underrated. So now again, I can't speak. Now their sheet masks are good, but I'm trying not to sheet mask anymore. I know they've brought out a whole line of skincare. I haven't tried that either. I don't bother with any of their home goods or their necklaces or anything like that. I actually don't wear jewelry anymore. I haven't worn jewelry in eons because it just got too difficult with my fingers or with my hands. But the AOA brand is definitely worth trying. Their lipsticks are good. Their lip gloss, like, there's only been a few things from Shop Miss A, the AOA brand, where I've been like, no, I don't, this ain't it, bam. But again, $3. You saw the swatches. Yeah. Okay, so this is probably an hour long, but that's it. That's my top. Those are my top 5 products from my top favorite drugstore brands. These aren't the only brands I love. I could have done Profusion, although I've basically gotten rid of almost everything from Profusion. Maybelline, L'Oreal, Milani. I could have done a couple more, but these are the ones that I have the best of luck with more than one kind of category or product. So if I had to pick my number 1, it would be Shop Miss A. Like I use vegan, cruelty-free and $1 for the most part. Some stuff, $1.88 is the most you're gonna pay for something. And those little bottles of foundation, they're $1.88 and you get a little over half an ounce. So it's a little over half the size of a full-size foundation. And still, it would only be $4-ish. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know if you end up doing this video. I would love to check it out. Again, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen this before or if it just popped in my head. If you have someone that's done it before, please leave them in the comments so we can all go check them out. So I hope you'll consider subscribing if you haven't already. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Misty Pans. I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, wherever you are. I love your faces and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.